Where were you on the radio?
So I wanted to be Robin.
Right.
Oh, stop.
Who
seriously.
doesn't?
So I go to grad school in England.
Right.
I leave England. I'm not done with my dissertation, but I'm totally broke. And I want to finish the dissertation so I can move on with my life and move to New York and, work for the ACLU or something. And so I decide that I have to be miserable. Because if I'm not miserable, I'll be too happy hanging out where I'm doing, not writing this dissertation I don't want.
Right.
So I have two choices for where I can live and be super miserable, so miserable that I will finish my PhD in order to leave. And
A
one
men's
is,
prison. Right.
And home. No.
Right.
My dad's best friend from the Air Force was a Republican lawyer in Orange County, California.
Right.
And I thought, that would make me miserable. He offered me a spare room like in his house or at his law firm or something to go. I thought, okay, I'd be miserable. That would work.
That's one option.
The other option is that I had friends who had moved to Northampton, Massachusetts because there was a 2020 piece saying that it was the lesbian capital of America.
Oh.
And they were like, okay, we'll go open up a lesbian B&B.
Right.
And I thought that sounds like the 17th circle of hell. So they moved to the country, to New England, in this snowy part of the world to go open up a B&B. And after doing that for 5 years, they learned it was the 17th circle of hell. They shut it down, and they were just going to be living in this big house, like raising dogs, going back to work full time. And they said, you'll be miserable here, but you can live here without paying rent and finish your dissertation. And I said, great. So I moved in with them.
Right.
And
Are
I
you
was
still
doing
friends
odd
with these
jobs.
kind of people who were good to you back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you still have good friends.
Yeah.
All
It's,
right.
yeah, so that was nice, and they listened to this morning show. They listened to the local morning zoo radio show in Holyoke, Mass, Dave in the Morning, and the news girl on the Dave in the Morning show was Denise, and Denise left, and they held open on-air auditions for somebody to replace Denise to be the Robin of the Dave in the Morning show.
And you went in.
And my friends, I'd never listened to the show. My friends dared me to do it because I was doing odd jobs and I was bad at everything.
Right.
And I got hired on the spot.
Wow.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was totally. It was a
so,
lark.
That's so unfair.
That's unfair.
I mean, what I had to go through.
She did have a lot of
I
education
should have entered
behind
into a
her.
friggin' contest. I'm sitting there with those resumes and tapes like a maniac trying to get into this thing. So you easily got into radio.
But
and were you a hit?
as a minimum wage morning show sidekick.
Were you a hit at first?
We were a tertiary unranked market operating out of a strip mall, so it's
Okay.
kind of hard to tell.
All right,
But
so
the
that
show
was a good
fun.
entry-level job.
Yeah.
And then do you get tapped for Air America out of that job?
I thought that was just one of my weird odd jobs. I thought I did it for a year, and then I had to go back to England to defend my dissertation.
Did you like doing the radio?
I loved it.
You loved it.
But I thought it's a minimum wage job that I have to get up at 3 a.m. for. Like, this
Right.
isn't my future.
This isn't. But you became a little local celebrity, right?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Very tiny.
Yeah.
local
No one
celebrity.
listened to the dumb station.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's now country music.
I've
It
worked
doesn't
for stations like that. I'd go to parties and go, I'm on the radio. Really? Where?
Where? Yes.
I tell them, oh, is
We'd
that
love
still
to hear
around?
you.
The radio, it's in your car.
Right.
Yes.
So you did that. You figured, that's it. It's over.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything.
And then I went to go, I quit so that I could go defend my dissertation in England.
Right.
And that was a couple of weeks before 9/11. I came back, 9/11 happened, and I had this great desire to be back on the radio. I thought that I would never be on the radio again. But I really, I mean, you remember what it was like. I mean, even if you didn't live in New York, it was, people rushing to the VA Medical Center to donate blood. We weren't playing music on the radio stations anymore. People wanted to talk.
Talk, yeah.
Every local radio station that hadn't been turned over into voice tracking became a call-in show because people wanted to talk about what was going
Yeah,
on. And I
yeah.
realized I wanted to be part of that. I felt like I could help. I felt like it would be a way to be
So where did
helpful.
you go? Was that Air America?
So that was another local radio station in Northampton, a great station, WRSI The River, which is an awesome music station, and they just let me pick up shifts, and that turned into me getting the morning show, and then I did that for a year or so, and then Air America got founded, and then I tried to cram.
Was that
my
a huge
foot in it.
disappointment in your life, Air America not working out? I mean, it was a great idea. It was like, hey, let's start a liberal radio network.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
thought they took on too much at the very beginning. You don't just start a network.
Well, my thought always was on that the business plan is take somebody who's great, who's liberal, put them on the radio. What do you need a whole network for?
Yeah,
Right.
build around
Build
them.
around them,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that probably would have worked better.
A little too ambitious.
But the other thing is, would it have worked? Even if that smarter business model had been done, would it have worked anyway? I mean, AM radio is conservative radio.
Right.
I mean, it's just
they haven't found great communicators. To be number one in radio, I have theories on. To be number one in radio takes a unique ability. You're talking sometimes for 3-4 hours at a time. You've got to be compelling for whatever reason, and you're putting on a show that primarily rests on you. And so you've got to really take it to a level that's unheard of. There's very few people who can do it. But I believe if there was a person like yourself who's intelligent, who has a way of broadcasting that engages people, that they could be even on a conservative radio station and be the one lone voice of, of liberalism. Why not?
Well, I don't think I was great on the radio. I mean, I think that I did a radio show that was very much like my TV show now. It was like a blizzard of words.
But
it
why
was
are
me
you
explaining this big, long thing. And when you talk on the radio, you draw people in and make people feel like they could be sitting here talking to you.
But why wouldn't you work? Why didn't you work on radio, but you work on TV? Like, why does it work on TV?
Because radio is a more, I mean, this is going to sound cheesy, but radio is a more intimate medium. You're talking right into somebody's ear.
Right.
On television, they're watching you on a screen. And so it's okay, I think, on TV, if you are sort of up on a podium explaining something.
Right. You're a better TV performer.
Yeah. And on radio, you got to be able to draw people in a really personal way. And I don't think that, I loved radio, and I would love to go back to radio at some point in my life. But I don't think I think I've got a better gene for TV than I had for radio.